Good morning, I'm Harley Schlanger from the LaRouche organization with your daily video update for May 23rd, 2024. Due to a heavy schedule of meetings and interviews I have today, I'm going to give you an abbreviated update, but I would encourage you to watch the dialogue I had with Helga Zepp-LaRouche yesterday, which will be linked in the description section below. It's an opportunity to hear from her directly, her views of the strategic situation, and keep in mind that she is now running the International Peace Coalition, which has been meeting every single week for the last year. So I encourage you to hear her analysis of the strategic situation. Also, I will be appending the Henry Kissinger speech I mentioned yesterday. I neglected to include it, so it is linked in today's description section. Now, more and more every day, awareness is growing that the ruling establishment in the United States and its NATO allies is not only not acting for the people, but for their own greedy, selfish interests. But that system is collapsing. The world opinion is moving away from accepting the submission to their so-called rules-based order. And there's a recognition, as they recognize that is, the establishment recognizes that, they're prepared to go up to and including into nuclear war to preserve their system. So it's important to note that the balance is shifting. They cannot succeed. The question is, will we be able to mobilize sufficient forces to take power out of their hands before they carry out the next round of provocations, which could put us into nuclear war. Now, most imperial rulers do not graciously relinquish their power, and that's why it's essential that a mobilization of population take that power away from them. So can we move to a new paradigm peacefully? Well, the International Criminal Court application for warrants against Netanyahu and his neocon war machine is a good step in the right direction. The Russia-China alliance, which was consolidated last week in Beijing, shows that there'll be no backing down from Putin, from Xi Jinping, and from the global south, which has increasingly rallied to the cause of a new financial and economic paradigm outside of the weaponization of the dollar. And on campuses throughout the United States and now Europe, we're seeing that young people are not going to submit willingly to give up their future in order to become servants for an evil, greedy class of billionaires. Now, the only danger is that the escalation from the NATO side could lead to a nuclear war. And we're seeing the escalation against Russia and Putin. We're seeing it against the Chinese in the Pacific, against Iran, and in Europe with the assassination attempt against the Prime Minister of Slovakia, Fico. So we're watching very closely also as the Israelis are continuing their offensive to drive millions of Palestinians from their home, with indiscriminate killing as their policy. So with the International Peace Coalition, we're rallying forces, including former intelligence officials, former government officials, activists from church and religious groups, to create the broad coalition necessary to shift policy. This is not an electoral machine per se, although we are running candidates in New York State for U.S. Senate in New York, Diane Sayre, and Jose Vega for Congress from the Bronx. But most importantly is pulling together an educated citizenry that knows what's wrong and knows what's needed. So it's time now for more of you to join with us, to become active, get your friends thinking. This is what the Helga Zepp-LaRouche has called for, a cognitive leap in the population. And it's a cognitive leap because people are oppressed, they're angry, but they're submitting. They're basically giving into their pessimism that nothing can be done. The cognitive leap means that you recognize the difference between human beings who can shape a better future and animals who are stuck by their animal nature into accepting a miserable life. So make that cognitive leap. Join us. Take advantage of our offer for a free 1-month subscription to our EIR Daily Alert. And I'll be back with you again tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow's Friday. So send me your questions and comments, and we'll take them up in our Friday question session.